Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to more Dark Souls 3. Last time, we started getting the feel for the game, managed to clear out a good chunk of the swamp. That is the Road of Sacrifices. Excuse me. And reached the Cathedral of the Deep, our next major area. We also met someone who dragged us to the snowfield, an area that is well above what we're able to handle in the painted world of Ariandel. So, we'll be coming back to that later. For now, we've reached the cleansing chapel. And the gentleman who dragged us to the world is gone. And doesn't open from this side. Oh. And a notched whip. If only I had a good grief. Doesn't open from this side. So we've reached the chapel, but there's no way further in from here. Though, it's something to take note of. This chapel is at the end of the Road of Sacrifices. And from the direction, it seems that very likely those sacrifices, were they being drawn from here or to here? From here or to here? Regardless, it has some devoted followers, some so strongly devoted they'll sacrifice their own life. And others kneeled in prayer. Listen carefully, in Short's vision of friend. Nothing there at the moment. But something we will find is that there is a plentiful number of these priests. Nope. Ah, got me. I tried. And they were protecting another shard of Estus that builds up from the corpses of those who have died. And here we can see there's a drop down. And a way up. And on that way up, there's a graveyard that starts spawning corpses. And they're aggressive. Ugh. Well, that's disgusting. And it seems like... yeah. Alright. And just seems like a lot of them. Yeah. They just keep spawning. Yeah. I mean, there surely must be an end to them, right? It's just that there's a lot of them. Yeah. They just keep coming. How many people died here? I mean, good grief. There has to be a limit, right? Actually, no. This area is so cursed with undead, there is no limit. The second you put down their corpses, they just come back. That is the simple truth of this place. And so, all you can do is keep pushing on. Maybe it's a case of damage type. If we burn the corpses, maybe there's more to them. Maybe that's it. They seem to respond differently to fire. And that's your answer. Killing them with a basic blade doesn't accomplish anything. You have to burn the corpses, purify them. By flame, we succeed. So, though, as you can see, it's not for every corpse. Those who aren't protected yeah, no. It looks like we're better off with the long sword. Oh. Yep, it's back. Oh. Maybe we should rely on something a little more basic. Nah, it looks like the regular fireball. No, generally speaking, casting the actual spells of pyromancy are definitely going to be the way you want to go. This is a good place to show this off, that even the basic fireball is far preferable damage output to... But as you can see, no? It's actually a bit misleading. No, it wasn't actually the fact I was using fire. I did just kill enough of them. There is just a lot of these zombies down here. Thankfully, if you're patient, you can work your way through. And... alright. Another item I may want to throw on hand... Do I have one? No. Okay, we may need the twin... Okay, so we'll switch over to the twin daggers. Because we'll need them. Yeah, this is actually one of those interesting things a lot of people overlook is, yes, there is in fact a limit to the number of zombies in this area. There's just a lot, and their payout is, well, obviously crap. It's only 20 souls per body. Plus, they're not much of a threat. And yes, they would be prime farming targets for if you had the silver ring. But yeah. These hollow corpses aren't the worst thing. By the way, if you were wondering why I actually put fire on the twin daggers, this would be why. The daggers are fantastic for this area, because they cost almost nothing, and it takes and all the corpses inevitably do that flailing motion the moment they are caught on fire, so it's very easy to just yeah. Yeah, you swing faster than... And you absolutely will swing faster than them. And like I said, the big lesson here is that this area is that you're not required to fight everything. And there will be areas where simply walking past enemies will be your safest option. Like you see, we can push further now. We've killed just about everything in this area. But corpse looks like it's trying to bang its head against a wall. Fortunately for it, there's no wall there to bang against. The Astora Greatsword. And yeah. Oop. Ah, damn it. Okay. And now we get to learn about a unique special status effect in this area. That vomit they're throwing up is actually made of these maggot insects. Unfortunately, it inflicts bleed for a long time. You can see them crawling on us. There are only two ways really to get rid of it. The first, is to just endure it. You'll hit blood loss maybe once, twice. So you'll just be losing some HP. Unfortunately, because blood loss got changed from being just a stamina infliction to now being a just straight up damage input. Not ever been the fan of that, to be honest. I wish it was back to being Dark Souls 2, where it was just lowered your stamina for a bit. And there's the second proc. Yeah. So yeah, that's your second proc. Basically, it's just a case of you can't. It's one of those things where it's not bad, but it is something you can endure. The other way is if you have a weapon called the Torch, The second you pull it out, it removes all the worms from you. Of course, another way would be that ability that the priest that greeted us has, setting yourself on fire. And now you know why he has that ability. Yep. And here we get introduced to a special type of the zombie, where the maggots inside have taken control. Bear in mind, every attack this thing makes is going to inflict you with that maggot status. But they are especially vulnerable to fire. Yep. Yeah. And just like the rest of these things, they'll come back. And if... Yep. Ow. Well, we've got it hit with it, so now we have to endure that inevitable 2 procs of bleed. And again, there's not much you can do in this situation. And again, there are more enemies the further you go. So, I wanted to show this fact off of what understanding what you need in this game is going to be is how you survive. Changing up your equipment, you cannot specialize in this game. The right tool for the right job. Remember that. The reason they give you the transmutation ability to turn souls into weapons so early is simply because you will need to. Every area is designed to kill you in different ways. So, with the souls that I've picked up...
How many?
Oh, right. We can now give her the Paladin's Ashes.
Gracious. Let this... I only hope these new wares content thee.
So let's see. I believe that gives us... Don't remember exactly. I think it's one of the castings, the Crescent Axe. But what we came here for, and what I was saving up for, is the torch. And as you can see, one of the items we now have is Sage's big hat. Enormous hat that completely obscures the face, belonging to the twin gurus known as the Crystal Sages. The pair are said to be successors to the great sage Logan, and his big hat is a symbol of their pedigree. But the other major thing I know the Paladin gave us, Lloyd's shield ring. Ring given to the Knights of the Way of White. Depicts Allfather Lloyd's shield of cast. Boosts damage absorption when HP is full. Much time has passed since the worship of Lloyd was common in the Way of the White. The clerics of Karim have always strongly asserted that Lloyd was a derivative fraud, and that the Allfather title was self-proclaimed. Canvas Talisman. Yep. So yeah. That is something we can work on.
Ashen one.
So, the item we'll need is the torch. We need to bring fire to get through that graveyard. At time, fire. At time, magic. Use whatever tools are necessary but never lose sight of what makes you unique. It's all about balance. It's always about balance. Even the most cold-hearted brigand has some core that brings them joy. Nope. Nice. That broken straight sword. Nice. There we go. So now, let's try this again. Naturally, the second you leave and come back, all these guys do as well. But we're better equipped this time. And we don't really need to, like I said before, and showed off, you don't have to stay. There's not... They can do chip damage and they might inflict that vomit on you, but generally speaking, it's not really worth it. The payout for each individual kill is not worth it. These hollows have been here so long, they've forgotten why they're here at all. But there we go. Just to show this off. There we go. Because yeah, even those with the worms in them don't pay out any better. So, they're just more work without much benefit. So, we can just keep exploring. And even if you don't go out of your way for these worms, there's inevitably one of these crawling ones here. But believe it or not, there's a few other ways we could go. Oop. And the keeper. Oh. Wow. Fast. Alright. Come across the guardian of this place, I assume. And they're upset, but they're... Oh. Well, unsurprisingly, they know a lot of... Anyone who'd survive here would obviously need some kind of fire ability. Though remember that fire is dictated by both faith and intelligence. So making good use of fire requires one or the other. Oh, and a familiar tree, a white birch. Hey, don't these javelins look a little familiar as well? Thanks, friend! Well, I imagine these corpses are quite the good target practice after all. Yeah, actually, if you want, you can just lead the corpses into this area, and your friend will take care of them. So don't hesitate to. And here, Undead Bone Shard to further improve the strength of your... of your Estus flask. But yeah, if you see these trees, know that your friend is looking out for you. You've made peace with him after all, and like he said, he help any time. But it still feels like we might have missed some of that of the graveyard, so let's head back. So, let's take a look. Nope. Yeah. After all, these corpses aren't meant for combat, so it's clear. It's easy. It's easy to walk around them and avoid them. I think the area I missed was the upstairs. Yeah. He's already got walked over there. I think I need to drop down here. Alright. Finishing him off. Because the knife does... Right, because this is where they all drop down. And there's a... Yeah, the further back path. Here we go. Now, as you might expect, you can see the corpses from up here. So, well, if you can get the drop on them. I mean, no point in not trying to. Yeah, none of those corpses are actually just dead. But pyromancy's range does leave something to be desired. So, we'll head for the items. Fading Soul, and the Executioner's Greatsword. As you might expect, yeah, a bunch of them are just those leech types. Yep. Ow. And we still have the... And, like you see, just pulling out the torch is enough to remove those leeches. So, that's why you have the torch. I remember discovering that my first time and smiling because of just how simple of a solution it is. But it takes a little inventive thinking to understand. You have to be willing to be a little flexible in this game. After all, bull rushing your way through is only going to get you so far. And there will be plenty of enemies that are going to be more than happy to let you bang your head against a wall fruitlessly. Still, though, we've made it to the top. And oh my. We should recognize this one very greatly. Great shield given to those who resisted the curse long ago. Far too heavy for an ordinary person, perhaps it signifies the foolishness of resisting the curse. And yet, those who bear the weight of this shield will not find its protection against curses wanting. Even gives you the weapon skill. Requires 34 strength, but it's 100% physical, fairly high stability. Magic, fire, lightning, dark, all are reduced to a significant degree. But it's far too heavy for us now. and it being a shield, two-handing it is only of so much use. And a ladder leading us down. Well, something wet and sloppy and is coming towards us. Yep. Given enough time. Those mottled things will take over and grow enough that the corpse they drag behind is an afterthought. By the way, this is simply the lower path we could have taken. But it's best to fully explore the graveyard. Yep. Yep. St. Tree Bellvine. A casting implement. Alright. And yeah. Again, that's all it takes, is just the presence of the torch to scare off these monsters and remove their status effect. It's a unique one specialized to this area, so... More Titanite shards. Alright. Got it. More twinkling Titanite. The more we get, the better off we are. Praise the sun. Oh, another one. How fortunate. Alright, got it. But, of course, this one was leading you to its bigger sibling. So... Ow. There we go. Alright. Yep, this one's a little more aggressive. Alright. Oh, okay, managed to survive that. The lock-on broke pretty quickly there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nope, back off, because that's going to do that. Yep. Catching it all on the shield is pretty much the only thing that's going to save us here. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Oh, got it good on that one. And another Titanite scale. Excellent. And with that beast slain, this area becomes a little safer. Oh, and if we wanted to double back on ourselves, this gets us back to the cathedral, the Cleansing Cathedral's main room. The chapel. Ah, I think I saw an item up there. We did manage to get enough for there. But yeah. Titanite shard, nice. As far as the actual story of this game overall, what we know is Lothric is a land that had arrived in this place unexpectedly. Yep. And at this point, most of what deserting corpse, yeah. Poison bite ring, excellent. Hey, every little bit helps, folks. But Lothric as an overall kingdom arrived here unexpectedly. And along with its population, basically was being onslaughted by threats from outside that were already here. So people like the cleansing cathedrals, evangelists, they're all from here. And they ministered to those who were suddenly there and displaced. Trying to bring them hope and healing and figuring out the problems of a displaced population. I think we did pretty well for a run through, and that would be the graveyard to the cleansing cathedral. By the way, the weapons we picked up. Great sword of a debauched executioner used for beheadings. The sword retains a keen memory of its executioner's duty and absorbs FP from each fallen foe. And then there is the Astora Greatsword. Bestowed only upon elite knights, it is a relic of the ruined land of Astora. Designed for a focus on thrust attacks, the sword is hard and sharp, but not unusually heavy. So, this tells us a lot about the type of beings that we found there. The Executioner's sword, which is heavy and powerful. Yeah. Is made to execute people in a single heavy chop. Versus the Astora's Greatsword, a remnant of a knight that meant to be swung about the battlefield. Yep. Yep. And like you see, that's special ability for allowing you to thrust. But whether brigand or a knight, we all find our same ending. And that would be down, 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 down in the graveyard. I look forward to seeing how... I look forward to the future. Anyway, the Evangelists. Yep, choice weapon of the Evangelists of the Cathedral of the Deep. Mentors of the dwellers of the undead settlement. Its long, sharp spikes cause pain and bleeding. These ladies were not there for... the betterment of people so long as the directing of do what we want. We'll find out why later. For now, let's head back real quick. Do some leveling and then pursue reaching the true depths of the cathedral itself. Or at least that's one would hope for. Oh. And we did gain some real power, so burn Undead Bone Shard. So we get more health per chug. And let's see.
Welcome home, I should speak then. Very well, then touch, take, nourish.
As much as I would like to, much as I would love to, yeah, like I said, intelligence will be probably our strength.
Retreating to a darkness beyond the reach of flame. Let them assume a new master.
Alright.
Inhabiting ash.
More fire and magic.
Upon new forms. Let these souls
Let's see. From there.
farewell, ash of may the flame.
And Andre.
Tis good, tis what need.
Reinforce. Alad Estes, 6-2. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. Repair, or reinforce. We have enough twinkling to make the Irithil Greatsword even better. And we have just enough for the daggers to get a little stronger. And again, the reason I chose the daggers is because they lose very little damage between their physical and magical. Daggers are best used when critting from behind. Daggers are best used when critting from behind or from working up front with quick, rapid swipes that allow you still plenty of stamina to evade. Alright. So, let's head back to the, cleansing chapel. Let's see if we can try and reach the cathedral proper. So you remember that ladder we kicked down? That's actually a basic shortcut. Let's see. 136. Not bad. Alright. And nope, these guys, unless you bother them, won't bother you. Alright. And if he's facing the wrong direction, you can quickly run up here and get up the ladder without anybody bothering you. A nice little bonus. And yeah, if you're having trouble with the dual wielder outside, lead them to where your buddy can shoot them down. There's always ways around. Yep. Simple enough. And we've reached the main doors of the chapel. where two statues with humbled wings and open arms bow to guide you inside. But this doesn't open from this side. So, as ever, the front entrance is not where you belong. Though, it's a unique expression on the statues over here. They're face down in their palms as if in misery or depression. As if something has truly gone wrong. A rusted coin. And a way through. Red bug pellet. Oh. A sniper. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, no, I'm not falling for that. Sorry. And they dropping red bug pellets. As if knowing fire is a threat. And yeah. There we go. Wait till he shoots him while he's reloading. Having some sort of answer is preferable. Unfortunately, pyromancy is kind of finicky for the trajectory of the shots, but you can figure it out after a few. And here we have another way. A reminder of dealing with the castles of Dark Souls 1. Oh. Yep. Oh, someone just hit us with a... That guy just hit us with the Lloyd's Talisman effect, where we cannot heal for a bit. So, we'll have to be careful. Nope. Nope. Wasn't gonna let that happen. Now what's interesting is, along the walls are these stakes. They're driven into the roof and as if they're holding something at bay. Well, that's a good sign to know to look for ambushes. And they will probably be plentiful, as they always are. Like I said. Yep, there's another one. Oh, he heard me. Ah, great, it's one with the flamberge. Yep. The ones with the flamberges actually get some pretty decent damage off. Yeah. The lesser ones, not so much. By the way, yeah. I hear you breathing, so I know you're not dead. So I know that you're not worth trusting. Nice and easy. And now... Oh! There's the rest of the ambush. And just some more souls to our name. sniper. Oh, he's down there. Alright, 2 of them. 3? Yeah. Alright. Nice. Alright. And these monks and priests are obviously using shoddy weapons. Well, it makes sense. They're not professional fighters, and it's not part of their duties to be professional fighters. That's not part of their job description. Though it is interesting that we have one of the larger ones wielding a halberd. Alright. Ah. And there we can see one of the evangelists. I love this little detail if you're paying attention. You can see the ambusher there. But he wasn't the only one. This game knows its player base well enough that layering traps like that can be a common thing. No, the alluring skull does nothing. These are not mindless undead. They have a presence of mind to remember or understand. Alright. And there she goes casting her spell. I'm gonna let the bugs hit the wall. And yeah, you can imagine in this narrow of a space, nope, I'm good. But yeah, the Evangelists come from this place. An undead hunter charm. Well, I imagine they tried anyway, that undead hunter. But this place was a little too much for them. And now, we could take the obvious road here down ahead, but you'll notice there was a wall blocking and forcing us down here. And if you make a simple jump, where these pins help stop you. Not great, but they do help. You can come up here, where ow. Let's see. Any more ambushers? Yep. Not east. Alright, we noticed him. And we can see more ambushers we can ambush. After all, if you get the drop on someone, it can make life a lot easier. For example, I know that guy. Yep. There we go. And now for the area we... Whoop! Couldn't remember if you had to walk in to activate all these traps. As you can imagine, from those guys up there to all these guys over here, there was quite a few ambushers. So it's easy to see how you might fall for this. And all for just some more souls. But we've made it far. And another one of these dual-wielding guards. And he is frosted from the little effect we can see. So, that makes it easier to deal with their attacks. Oh. Whoop. Nope. Yep. Oof, that double spin. Nice. And an extra chug. Welcome. Very welcome. Oh, two more. Oh, they're suiciders. And running away. I may not get much out of them, but at the very least, if I don't take any damage, well, I'm not at a net loss. Here we spy a side door. Though, don't drop your guard. Yeah. Perhaps this door? Yes. It gives. It's gonna take a bit. But yeah, it's a way in. But it seems there's some more to deal with first. Alright. Doesn't seem... Ah, there's the trick to it. Yep. Oh. There's the trick to it. Yeah. One of the priests wielding a great axe. And... wow. And there's the worst part. So let's see about the rest of it. Ow. Nope. Nope. Alright. Oh. And nope. An ember. Well, at the very least, we've made it through. And let's see. This would be the cleansing cathedral, huh? That's a giant. That's a very big giant. Huh. Oh. And I can lock onto that. That doesn't bode well. And it's just a slime. Huh. Well, that's not inspiring. Good thing I brought my pyromancy. Huh. And now you'll notice these robed statues. Notice that there's that hump, the same as the other pilgrims, burrowing out of them. The same way a dual charm. This isn't an undead hunter. Temporarily disables special effects. Tool used in duels of judgment. Nulls effects of special areas. Effects for a short time. All Father Lord's knights lived in fear of his duels of judgment, in which verdicts were carried out by his sword of law. In other words, it was a reasoned execution using his superior swordsmanship. Here we see a priest of some kind. Red eyes, though. Oh, and another one. Wielding a casting implement. Oop. Oh, a third one. They specialize in fire. And they're using miracle casting equipment. Ah, shortcut. Is it? Well, let's check where this elevator goes. Ah. And this opens up to an area back behind the chapel. And the first of those two locked doors is now open. So, we've been introduced to the cathedral now. And we have a way in, so we needn't ever go through that side passage again. Now, yeah, we got enough souls. I want to get a level or two. Let's see. How are we looking on souls? Okay, and each level is at 7k. I should be able to get enough. Yeah, that's enough.
Welcome home, Ashen. Speak thine heart's Very well. Then touch the dark. Take nourishment from these sovereign. Manifestations of disparity, elucidated by fire, burrow deep within me, retreating to a darkness beyond the reach of flame. Let them assume a new master, inhabiting ash, casting themselves upon
Just thinking, sorry, how I want to build forward.
souls withdrawn from their vessels, manifestations of disparity.
The extra drop rate is always appreciated. Yeah. Hitting 20 dexterity. Yeah. Strength, because Irithel Straight Sword takes from both. Yeah.
Farewell, may the flame.
Alright. Sorry, just thinking if there's anywhere else specifically I would want to go. Well, let's see how far we can get in here. And we'll go from there. Because this area is actually a place that you can start and come back to later. And now that we have the shortcut, we actually have several ways to go. There's a down area, and out here, also, picking on these priests, never a wholly bad thing. After all, in this world, never trust the church. Especially in this world. Now, let's show off how this area is defended. Oh. Yep. Yeah. Ow. Alright. Got through that. Yeah. That slam is not as easy to get out of. And yeah. You do chip damage. And your first thought is, yeah, I'd be safe here. They just huddle down, so you can't really shoot them. And yeah, you'd think, well, I'm in a corner. I should be out of range of this. Nope. He can reach in and grab you. And there are items here to tempt you. Lloyd's Sword Ring, so if you're at full HP, you get extra attack power. Great for casters. Exploding bolts. Yep. And once again, he can reach in these holes to grab you and slam you. You are not safe. Yep, and there are two of these guys. And, yeah, while they're not immune to his attacks either, yeah, he will slam at you on your way through. And yeah, you don't do much damage to them. And down here... It's quiet. For all the noise we just experienced, it's now quiet down here. Visions of a tough enemy. Be wary of trap. Really? There. Do you see it? The lid's creaking up and down. Almost as if that's a living thing. Yep. This game, more than any other, loves the mimic. But mimics are also a double-edged sword. A mimic always protects something of, if not exceptional, at least noteworthy rarity. The deep Braille divine tone. Learn the miracles of the deep. A Braille divine tome of the deep belonging to the deacons of the cathedral. Give this to a storyteller to learn miracles of the deep. Intended to teach divine protection to the deacons of the deep, but later dark tales were added to its pages, such that is now considered a thing profane. So, do you want to delve into the darker mysteries of this world? The little truths that are inconvenient for those who are holy and sacred. Well, that's up to you to decide. But this was a place of some truths, where people sought comfort for their weariness and the confusion that life can elicit. Oh! But as you can see, like any medieval church, there were those who would defend it staunchly. Yeah, no. Well, at least it gets some damage on them. Divine Knights. Pledged to protect this place, and those who ministered to the people on the words of the deep. And the sacred truths they held. Be wary of curse. Critical foe ahead. This is actually an ambush I don't believe you can actually prevent. Like, you have to walk in the room to trigger this. Alright. Yeah, you can't see them ahead of time. And this room is cursed. Ember. Yep, there it is. You know those enemies that no one likes in Elden Ring? The Revenants? Meet their big brother. Well, no, this guy isn't as bad as the Revenants. I won't deny that. But you can tell from the physical design, he's very much what inspired them. And yeah, they weren't cruel enough to give it the multi-slap yet. So it's not as bad as these Revenants. But God, you can see the reflection of it. What will eventually be the most hated enemy in Elden Ring. And yeah, guess what? They curse you. And in this game, curse is a little worse than... Aldrich's Sapphire. Trying to remember which one that is. Ah, a malformed ring left by Aldrich, Saint of the Deep. Recovers FP from critical attacks. Aldrich, infamous for his appetite for flesh, apparently had the desire to share with others his joy of imbibing the final shudders of life, while luxuriating in his victims' screams. You know how I mentioned don't trust the church in this? The Cathedral of the Deep had a secret. The ministers, and as you can tell from the the only robust figures in the game being the Evangelists of the Deep, guess what? They like to eat human flesh. That's where they got all those calories and poundage from. They were eating people. So, yeah. Oh, and some of these statues trigger poison mist. There we go. Yeah. There we go. And yeah. And as you can see, the giants are in the muck there. And we can hear some of the knights walking around, or the Mother Superior, the Evangelist as well. Note, the whole area isn't covered in muck, just certain parts of it. Yeah, more giants. Yeah. Yep. There's another one of the sacred knights. But I'm trying to remember... Ah! This is what I'm looking for. Because this overlooks where that leech was from earlier. But if we come around here, there's an elevator. And this door. And we've reached the second part of the... We've opened up the second part to the cathedral. And we can now reach the lower levels. And I'm trying to remember... Okay, that leads, to the depths of the temple. So we don't want that just yet. Because it's clear we missed, or rather skipped over, some critical areas. Yeah. Alright. Not walking into the mist. Alright. He set up endures, so that's going to make this a little harder. And yeah, their maces are great at breaking through your shield. As you can see, the bigger problem is the simple truth. In narrow corridors like this, his great shield gives him an advantage on you. Yep. But, and that's why he does endure first, is because he takes half damage while that glowing effect is up. So, he's now done. Oop. But, yeah, these two would just make that night an absolute nightmare to deal with. But, with that done, no, I love the little detail of that one bandit just patrolling that line. He doesn't want to walk in this muck. And obviously no one really would want to. It slows you down immensely, for one thing. And note, you can fight the giants down here. You will stand up. If anything, it's actually easier down here. Yeah. The giant's ankles are not the most protected thing. Just watch your stamina. And he will stomp eventually, so you're not perfectly safe. But they tend to swipe more than they stomp. Though I think the stomp is pretty much early on a one-hit kill, so... Yep. There we go. And with the truth, Dung Pie, the simple truth brought to light that this is where they were consuming people, oh, it sheds a new light on what we're walking in, don't it? The leftover viscera and viscera of their victims. And they were not picky. Man, maiden, child, adult, elderly, they didn't care. So long as they got to eat. Thus the merry evangelists brought in so many people when Lothric arrived. Along the road of sacrifices, aptly named, to the Cathedral of the Deep where they would meet their fate. It's why there's an endless amount of bodies out in the graveyard. No amount would ever satisfy their hunger. But this was a place of holiness once upon a time. The Saint's Bident. A silver bident decorated with a holy symbol, formerly wielded by Saint Klimt. He discarded this weapon that draws upon one's faith, on the day that he put his own faith behind him. He was disgusted by what he saw and found in this place, and so threw it aside. It is still a fairly good weapon, though. It does, for a spear, it's fairly decent, and does decent damage and gets the bonus additional damage to draw from your faith, without requiring your faith, note. But yeah, the Holy Maidens. White hood worn by traveling maidens, part of their formal attire regardless of rank. It is soft and well made, but ill-suited for use in battle. But it does look good for a caster, especially a holy one. Though, we knew of a particular maiden back in Dark Souls 1 by the name of Rhea. She certainly did play the role of maiden, and offered help with holy spells. I wonder what happened to her. What became of her after we refused to link the fire? Well, what did it matter? Linking the fire would play into the gods' hands, and Gwendolyn obviously had no greater purpose or use for us. So, it was probably for the best. Well, this place is quiet again. Ah. Another giant, resting and ready. Ah. And now we see the source of these slime creatures. They're amalgamations of the leftovers from the feasting. Jagged pieces of bone used to protect themselves. But it's clear physical damage doesn't affect it much. But it burns all the same. Thankfully, pyromancy is fairly effective. But yeah, this lower area was a trash pit. A place where they discarded corpses and other unwanted parts left after the feasting. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the biggest problem here is not the giant itself, but the unwanted... Ow. Okay, just winged me on that. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this too much longer before the slimes start catching up. Ow. Alright. Ow. Okay. It's not a one-shot, but it's pretty damn rough. Yeah. Okay, we got the giant. So, then from there, alright. Nice. Large titanite shard and the dung pile. Of course. Drang shoes. Drang. Oop. That. What the hell is that? Ugh. Like some fusion of man and maggot? Pale tongue. Drang armor. Drang gauntlets. Armor of the Drang Knights, proclaimed descendants from the land known for the legend of the linking of the fire. Fine protection that is both light and strong, having been reinforced with rare geist steel. The Drang Knights were once feared sellswords until treason meant descending into the abyss and they were separated forever. So, they were sellswords who worked for and the Drang Hammers. Paired hammers of the Drang Knights, descendants from the land. When the Drang Knights disbanded, they scattered across the lands as sellswords. They quickly became known for shieldless, aggressive tactics that struck fear in the hearts of men. This is because dual wielding became a very popular thing in Dark Souls 2 because of the power stance option. And they just pretty much advanced and kept using it here, and this is a fairly good, purely offense melee option. But honestly, like I've said, Blue is a bit of a dull character in the fact that he's methodical. It's how he survived Dark Souls 1. Taking what he sees, analyzing it, and going from there. Now, there's a reason I cleaned out what I could. Part of it is because there's a trick to this area that you may not catch immediately. It's easy to miss, but there are levers all over the place. If you pull them, you raise platforms. The other switch is over here. And this one raises that one. Trying to remember where all the switches are. Because I know I've missed one there. But we'll deal with that when we do. But I did want to point out, notice here, the corruption is a little worse compared to even this side of the building. whatever is over there, it's dripping down. It's where this muck and mucus is coming from. So that would likely be the place of feeding, one would think. Still, and more of those maggot men are impaled on those nails we've seen across this place. As a warning, as a threat. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. It looks like there's some of the knights. One seated in depression almost, and another in fervent stance. Well, ideally I'd like to not take on two knights at once. So perhaps we can just walk around? Oh. There's more petitioners, prayers, priests. Praying at a covered altar. Whatever these statues are, they're covered on these red cloths. Another ember. Oh. Though it's weird that the place of prayer is at an angle, as if it was sinking. There we go. Managing not to disturb everyone. Ah, another elevator. Those have only been beneficial so far, right? Well, that didn't take long. In fact, this is very beneficial because this would be the main entrance to the cathedral. And the path that allows us to go... Wait. That path wasn't... What? That was down, wasn't it? When did it go up? Huh. Another dual charm. But...
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow part. Treasure? Always so close, yet so far. I'm in quite a pickle, indeed.
You know who it is. You know it isn't Sigward. And I will always respect the detail that if you look, you can see in through the visor. They even swapped the model. Yeah, folks, it's exactly what you think it is. But there's also another rule regarding patches in the Soul series. As much as you may loathe him, he's a damn good merchant. And so, despite what you may want... By the way, if the giants are still alive, they will walk over here and smack you off these. It's really kind of insulting. I don't bother to showing it, but it's one of those funny things that this game does allow. Oop.
Shame on you, you greedy guts. Thought you could outwit an onion. Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Hi, Patches. And yeah,
Where's the old giant? What? Where's the bloody giant? Just what have you done? How dare you? Have you no shame? Damn, 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 and damn, damn, damn.
and for once, we get one up on Patches. I will always love that. That they thought of it as like, yeah, but if you're the kind of person who, like me, always went and got rid of the giants ahead of time just because, well, they're in my way and they don't seem like the kind of enemy that respawns. Though, trust me, there are plenty of pain-in-the-ass enemies that respawn. We'll get to those when we get to those. But in the meantime... we can take the side path around. Don't fall in the hole. There is no second elevator down everyone. It is just a death pit. And Patches knows he just fucked up. But I do admire, this is one of the most ingenious tricks he's pulled. And he's gone. He's run off. Yep. Nope, he's actually over there. So how do we get to Patches? Well, the obvious first trick to try is going back and pulling the switch. And see if it goes up again. Alright, that's one. Nope. Yeah, no, that isn't it. Oh, wait. This is also down again. Maybe this one does it. Nope. Hmm. We're in quite a pickle, aren't we? Well, the simple truth is there's another way we'll have to go to reach Patches. And boy, oh boy, does no one like taking this road. Oh boy. Now I'm trying to remember how you get up there. 'Cause it's basically a drop-off. Alright. Well, we've gotten this far. And yeah, I don't even know if there's a muck ring that makes you move faster in this game, in the slime, but it always just sucks. Anyway, we could push further on and deeper into the cathedral. But if I'm honest, we're almost to the boss. And I don't think we want to go there just yet. There's a bit more to see in this place after all. Oh, I remember how to get up there now. But be wary of liar, monster ahead. Liar ahead. Okay. Well, here's what we'll do. We're gonna go back, grab a level or two, back to the shrine bonfire, grab our levels, and then I'll show you how you get to him. Alright, it's what, 8,000? Yeah, a piece. So I should only need to grab one of these. And better safe than sorry.
Welcome home, speak then. Very well, then touch the cake, nourish me.
Alright.
Manifestations of disparity, elucidated by fire, borrowed deep within me.
18
Darkness beyond
and more
the reach of
intelligence.
flame.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Let them assume a new master.
There we go.
Farewell, may the flames go.
Alright. Anything else I want to purchase or do? Looking at stones. Only one twinkling titanite. We did get a large, so I might be able to improve the daggers just a little bit more.
Ah, just good. What needs?
Yeah, I have enough to do the two titan. Okay. Plus 4.
Pretty, I don't want.
Alright. Alright. How many shards do we have? Basic titanite shards. No, I used them all up. That's right. Okay. We're good. Okay. So back to the chapel. And now to deal with unreached patches. By the way, you remember seeing a mention of a friend ahead.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Anyone at all?
Oh, I know that voice. Just how long has it been?
Too long, my friend.
It's me, Siegfried of Katarina. I'm loath to admit it, but I've been had. Someone's swiped my armor.
Yeah, we noticed.
Did you happen to see it anywhere?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, not to worry. An old tenant of the Knights of Katarina. And I am...
But he's in a rough spot. He's without his armor and trapped at the bottom of a well. Naturally, in this universe, that well would be a death sentence for most people. But because this is the Souls series, it's probably connected to a whole great big part of an area. He just needs his armor. And now you'll remember I opened the way to this elevator, but I didn't take it. And this brings us actually out to a way to the top of the cathedral. Another one of the priests overlooking the church, who had a deep ring. Allows attunement of additional spells. A ring bestowed upon the deacons of the Cathedral of the Deep allows the attunement of additional spells. In the cathedral slumber things most terrible, and as such the deacons require a grand narrative to ensure they do not falter in their duty. A philosophy to ward away the madness beckoned by the grotesqueries at hand. But, of course, they have failed in that duty. And such we must not. But, as you can see, there are traps and ambushes aplenty for us. Yep, the archers can see us. And naturally, the priest with the great axe. There we go. Nope. Down he goes. And the one with the spear, or halberd rather. Nice. Nice. Yep, and we get his halberd. But it seems like that's not all that's up here. And in fact, there are many ways to go. And yes, if an enemy bounces off your shield, you do get an opportunity to do some additional damage. I think it's like a 1.3 or 4 multiplier. It's not like the full backstab like double damage. But it is still significant enough to be worth it, I'll say that. Alright. An arbalist, a crossbow, a A very heavy one, too. The largest crossbow, suitably powerful for its size. The bowstring is made of metal, requiring great strength to fire. Yeah, requires 18 strength and 8 dexterity. And allows you to use some arrows and, 218, so it's a significant damage source. Especially if you need to just do damage from far away. And naturally, this one looks like it's distracted. The Pale Tongue. We've been picking them up across this entire area. Proof of an invader's victory over a host of embers. Claiming tongues as trophies was originally the practice of an infamous troop of invaders who offered them to their speechless goddess. So, wonder which one that could be. Perhaps Velka, the goddess of sin, who wants you to sin and then asks to be forgiven for your sins. It wouldn't be impossible to imagine. Oh, down you go. Yeah. Alright, and here we see one of the knights in quite a... Alright. Oi, their great blades are nothing to be sniffed at. Yeah. Each swing takes their whole body, but damn if it does. The effect is daunting, to say the least. A blessed gem. Well, when we get the right furnace, we'll be able to actually use that. Where we'll be able to bless our weapons, allowing faith to be a stat that it grows off of. Goodbye. And now, another knight. This one... Okay, my suggestion, do not fight any of the knights on these narrow paths. They can and will push you off pretty easily. And they don't have the greatest pathing. So my best suggestion, try and get to this end area. Once you have the knight running at you, see if you can make him. Because a good number of them will just fall off to their deaths. Oh. And this one has an arbalist. A sign of his physical prowess, if nothing else. Yeah, pull these guys off to where you can fight them more easily and comfortably. There we go. Alright. Alright. Got it. There we go. Yep, between that and the frost, he's pretty much done. Ow. Alright. Yeah. Between the frost damage and the backstab, it wasn't too bad. And with that, we've officially reached our goal which was where he was guarding, actually. Yep. Because now we can safely drop down here. And from this platform, we can come down here. Allowing us to reach these maggot men, these maggot-made priests, and...
Huh? Yes, hello. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Of course.
I'm Patches. Unbreakable Patches.
Unbreakable,
You seem to be unkindled. Do you have business with me?
You know who I am.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my hand, as you know. But the deed, well, that was the armor's doing. Regrettable, truly. But behold, I'm stripped clean of that unruly attire.
Right.
Look at you. Not a scratch. All's well that ends well, right? Yes, we'll be fine. I can tell. It's that rotten curse. It is. The untidy mess.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Now, it wasn't me, but you still deserve an apology. Just a little trinket.
A rusted coin.
You should know, I'm a kind of, if you're as unkindled as you look.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. So, hey, look what he has. Has one piece of the Katharina set. So, let's see, what can we sell? Well, the undead charms, the dual charms don't really matter. Rubbish, just to get it out of my way. Yeah, alright. That's the chest piece. I still need another 7,000, 10,000, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what embers are for. Or at least that's how I generally use embers. Okay, I don't believe he requires the shield. By the way, he does also sell poison arrows, which, if you're going for range damage, can be quite useful. They're 120 a pop, but that's still... Let's see, anything else that really... Nah... Okay. I'm holding on to the Sieg Brew just because. Okay. Just to get the shield as well.
Thanks, good comp.
By the way, yeah. This is where the switch is. Meaning Patches took the upper road and got up to the upper path sooner than you did. Which is how he activated the switch and trapped you. I still love that moment of, okay, wait, where's the giant that's supposed to be here to kill him? Above. Yeah, we finally reached up here. Grub and then grub. Ugh. They seem little... These things seem little better than the... corpses outside, don't you think? And and of course, yep, that's why I've been keeping the torch on me, because guess what? These have that maggot status effect too. Yep. No, this one doesn't attack me. Bizarre. This one gives you the sun soapstone. And that's to leave if you want to invade people in an almost noble way. Leave red antagonizing invasion sign. Be summoned to another world as a dark spirit and defeat the host of embers to gain the strength of fire. Not all dark spirits are unsporting, or they wouldn't make use of this soapstone. I'll give you a fair and open chance. Win or lose, no regrets. But what were these things guarding? What could be so important that they protect it? Wait. Each of these things look like coffins mixed with cradles? And a bonfire. Well, it's another person mixed with a maggot? No, she's holding. It's a woman holding some grotesque creature. Rosaria, the mother of rebirth, to join her covenant. And we gain a Rosaria's finger. You can offer her pale tongues. Reallocate attributes and alter your appearance. Reallocating the attributes are exactly what it sounds like. You can change the way your stats are moved. And it's exactly... Yeah, so this is a way early on you get access to do just that. To change your stats around in case you decide you want to try something else. But of course you have to deal with that creature. Rosaria, the mother of rebirth. Yeah. She's the one who I would be careful with rebirthing oneself too many times. I would imagine what we see here is the end result of that decision. So, be wary of what you may do. Everything has consequences, after all. But we've managed to make it this far. And all that's left is to head further into the cathedral. And in truth, that'll bring us to the end. We've seen much and most of what the cathedral has to offer. So then, the question becomes, what else is there left? This is supposed to be the home of Aldrich of the Deep, who had a hunger for human flesh and sought to sate it. under the guise of holy revelations. And yeah, you do have to take the center. That's just showing off that yes, both side paths are absolutely not an option. Nope, he saw me. So... Ow. Yep. Oh, got it on the shield at least. There it goes. Luckily I didn't lose much. But I think we can travel to elsewhere. So, we've managed to clear out the cathedral mostly, but that wasn't everything we could do. And I think where we can head next... Back here. No, because we cleared out all that. Yeah, so the only thing was Farron Keep. And let's see if we can't put an end to the two knights that were giving us a pain up here. I was only lost 1,200 souls, so that's why I'm not too worried about it. Because there's still more strength to gain. Prick. Nope. Yep. I gotta remember, you can't just guard spam anymore. Yeah. I have to watch my stamina in this one. Yep, and now both of them are over here. Yep. There we go. Yep. Nope. Okay. Yep. As you can see, they can heal. Yep. There we go. After he gets the combo, there we go. Nice thing is, these guys don't respawn. So, once one's gone, you're in a good position. Alright. Thing to note is also, the moveset actually changes for a weapon when they have the roar like that. They have a quick combo they can do. They can only do while that he's red. There we go. And there's Frost, so now he has less stamina. And there you go. Hey, Holy Corn. PS5. The Exile Greatsword and his Great Club. Bloodstained Greatsword wielded by one of the watchdogs of Faerun, who preside over the slumber of fallen warriors. This blade is a reminder of the exile's past misdeeds. A wooden club fashioned from the branch of a giant tree. It requires considerable strength to wield. A hard, durable weapon. Its weight makes it easier to break the guard of shields. And we're looking at... As I say, I don't think we have the cape. Yeah, I could wield it two-handed, I think. Yeah. Which, it's not a bad weapon. It's got some decent damage, but... Yeah, it's way too heavy. Now, with those two felled, we now can easily access the upper part of the area. But now we enter the hardest part. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first swamp of the game. The Poison Swamp, too. So, one of the reasons I went to the Cleansing Cathedral is because it gives us the Poison Bite Ring. In addition, don't hesitate to swap out to something that may give you more poison resist. Let's see. Oh, right, before we do that, I forgot to give him back that. So give me one sec, we have to run back to the Cleansing Cathedral Chapel. Because we need to just head out here and give Sigurd his stuff back. Otherwise, he'll be trapped in there pretty much for the rest of the game.
Maybe I can fashion a replacement from... I've got to use...
Throw his armor down.
Oh, my armor. My deepest gratitude. I'll Siegfried of Katarina salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade.
And he's happy. And as far as it goes, Corn, I'm not familiar with how you move items between characters, so personally, I don't really do much of that stuff. So I'm not big on that kind of thing. I'm just playing mostly. Well, okay. That just requires me to be inhuman, so I assume Ember restored. use this code called PAME. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There it is, man. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Yep. I'm good, man. I'm just here to play the game, so I don't need anything. I'll do it for you this once, just to be a bro, but that's about it. All right. Yeah, no worries. Now, in the meantime, as far as poison swamps go, after you use the ring, you'll notice you have a good bit of resistance. You can actually build it up pretty good. Luckily, the worms don't actually do any poison damage. The slugs don't. It's mostly just building up on being in the muck. Alright. And keep an eye out for where they group around, because you'll usually find useful items. Like in this case, that ragged mask has one of the highest poison build-ups. Yeah, poison and curse, it builds up pretty nice. It's almost non-usable defensively, but rag that covers the mouth, likely a makeshift item to help reduce the intake of various poison and noxious fumes. Not the most fashionable thing, but it can be useful, especially here. Which you'll notice gives us a no. I know, man, I was waiting for your sign to show up. Which you'll notice gives you a nice little boost in surviving longer in the poison. Just waiting for your sign to show up. But yeah. and you'll have this whole swamp area to get through, which actually has some of the more devastating enemies from a damage perspective, actually. But we'll get to that when we do. Just waiting to see if he'll finally show up his sign so I can... Let's see. And as far as this area, Farron. Yep. Haven't changed it since I summoned you last. There's probably a cooldown because you left on your own. Come to think of it. Yep. Alright. Yep. Okay. I'll see you at the first bonfire in a minute. Alright. Yeah, I'm just doing it this once just to be a bro, but not my kind of thing. I prefer to find the weapons and just go through the story. Now, one thing to note about... No, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just doing it because I want to. Anyway, a purple moss clump to help you out. The game is preparing you because this area can actually be a bit of a slog and will likely kill you a few times, to say the least. Though, taking your time. Nah, I'm good. Taking in this place, note that amid the poison, the trees all have these growths sprouting out of them. In addition, there's also these heavy sacks dangling from various branches. We see more crucifixes from the blue moon. But it's clear that they found some trouble in this land. Because those they crucified, well, looks like they've decayed, so this place hasn't been touched by them in a long time. Farron Keep. The whole place looks like it's sinking down. No worries, man. And it'll be interesting, because understand the distinction between the two. This is Farron below. That's Lothric above. But if Farron's sinking in, what are the chances that it's only a matter of time until Lothric Castle descends down into this muck all the same? What if everything's been sinking down into this muck? After all, bad choice of ground will destroy any and all castles. It also kind of begs the question, geologically, how could they possibly have built that entire wall leading up to the castle? Getting the materials up there must have been a nightmare. But yet we see no scaffolding, no pathways, nothing that would speak to how the castle was built. There's no pathways for the common people to move stone or any materials up there. Isn't that kind of odd? Something that big would require constant maintenance. Like they'd have to be swapping out all sorts of parts of the wall. Where are they even quarrying the stone from? There's a lot of logistic questions that are not easily answered. And if we take a look at Lothric itself back from here, this place has plenty of pathways for the regular people to get through. And begs the question then, well, these people were praying. Their prayers all aimed. Note that the consistency is that almost every one of these hollow figures are more aimed towards the highest point, the castle over there. As if they're praying, save us, help us. But from the looks of things, their prayers fell on deaf ears. All right. All right. And I use all right. There we go. All right. Let's just get this done. Okay. So starting with the rings. Note you have to use leave and not discard. They may seem similar, but they use very different. They have different connotations. All right. And yep, that's all the rings. Let's see. Leather shield. Let's see. Yep. Leave the silver kite eagle. Grass, golden. Yeah. There you go. Moaning Shield. Second Curse, Great Shield, and the Dragon, yeah. Then the branches. Okay. And I'm pretty sure... Pretty sure that's everything. Alright. The set... Oh, Mira. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Okay, there you go. Alright. Alright. No worries. Okay. And there you go, man. Alright. Just making sure before I forget. No password, matchmaking on. Okay. Okay. Now we're back to... I did a favor for someone, that's only time I'm going to do it. I just wanted... This is one thing that a lot of people do. Anyway, back to our normal pursuits. Darks... Alright, so we're at 9, a little... Okay, we can go a little longer. Alright. So, with that, let's see, anything else that gives any better poison? Like, yeah, because the poison is actually fairly weak with this. Huh, the Drang armor actually gives you pretty good defense against poison. Yeah. Okay. We'll try it out. Yeah, that gives you pretty good build-up. Yeah, that's pretty good protection. And note, the creatures crucified here, they're very much not human. They have almost bird-like faces. That's a little bizarre. And these pouches, well... Titanite shards. Yep. Alright. Now, here's the drawback I want to show off. Once you are poisoned, you do take chip damage. It's not incredibly horrible. But the higher your resistance, the longer you are poisoned. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword in that. So, it really comes down to whether you want to just endure the chip damage or work your way around without it. Because naturally having a high resist for something like bleed where it's just a one burst of damage, yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's a good thing to have. Frostbite, yeah, more often than not it's going to be useful. However, Poison is a unique one in that, since it lasts longer, in some cases it may be fine just to stay low, take the poison, and just heal yourself periodically. Healing items aren't as plentiful as in, say, Dark Souls 2, where you had the crystallizations, the crystal gems to be able to heal you. Titanite shard. Also, take a look at these rocks' texture. It's almost like they're made of countless eyes staring at you. Kinda unsettling when you notice it, isn't it? Another Estus shard, so another chug. And more slugs, but nothing up here, though you would think there would be. But yeah, just a place to rest outside the poison. But yeah, nothing here, just a group of slugs. And we've been poisoned yet again. However, there's a couple different ways to interpret it. Because, yeah, we're poisoned. And we're going to take little bits of chip damage for a long time. But it does mean we're also free to run through this stuff because, well, we can't be poisoned again while we're already poisoned. So, it can be worthwhile to just say, well, screw it then. Rotten pine resin. Alright. And just say, well, I'm taking chip damage, but as long as I'm avoiding extra damage, I can just keep exploring. And that's one way to interpret this. Stone Parma. A callback again, Dark Souls 1. The stone statues that existed in the forest that used these. A round stone shield once carried by an old knight turned to stone himself. It has powerful defensive properties for its size, but is extremely heavy. Indeed. But, guess what? Yeah. I'd say it holds up, and it's a little stronger and heavier than our current shield, so why not? So, let's keep exploring the depths of this woods. Oh. And one of the reasons you need... Oh, there it is. And get off me, get off me, get off! Yep. Yep. Alright. Haven't seen these guys since Dark Souls 1 either. Oh, damn it. I keep screwing up. Yeah, they've got a lot more mix-up grabs now. Cracked red eye orb, of course. Well, we saw that the Fingers of Rosaria are invaders, but it's obvious they're not the only type. Alright. And the Sage's Coal. Another improvement. Enables crystal, blessed, and deep. The white magic flame produced by this coal was given to the Undead Legion long ago by one of the Crystal Sage twins. Give to the blacksmith in the shrine to allow the use of gems for crystal, blessed, and dark infusion. So yeah. We now have access to various methods to take care and make use of blessed, of blessings, holy damage. Which in such a place, and when we saw, as you can imagine, less than holy creatures around, such as the Dark Wraiths, well, it might be worth taking advantage of that, depending on how you built your character. Poison gems. Well, I can't think of a more appropriate place for them to grow. Grow. Well, the gems are actually altered pieces of titanite. Their description tells them as such. So titanite tends to take on the properties of things around it. That's an intriguing principle, wouldn't you say? But let's see what we can learn with the items we've just gained.
Well, 'tis good to see what needs.
We need to give you something.
Well. What's the Undead Legion doing with a coal such as this? I'd heard one of the Crystal Sages had sided with Farron's Abyss Watchers. I suppose it must be true.
Indeed.
You should know, this coal is imbued with magic. First one I've ever seen. Hardly a surprise, is it? I've never been one for books or wise men.
A bit of a callback to the fact that he only ever used the Blessed One. He never used the magic infusion. He never did. It always went to the one smith underneath by the New Londo ruins. But we now have the ability to turn a weapon into poison. We don't have enough for deep to add dark damage. Blessed, because note that Blessed leaves it as a physical damage, but Blessed gives you... Okay, fire gems, yep, crystal gems. One of the biggest thing it does... Oh, I thought crystal... It adds magic, but reduces physical, but adds a lot of magic, with some decent scaling. Raw is just the raw damage, with no stat buffs. Refined is if you want to rely only on stat buffs, basically. Sharp and heavy, strength or dexterity focused. Reinforce. Alright. And we're looking at 7 and 2.
Pretty, I don't want.
Give me 1 sec, folks. Okay. So, sorry about that. Family stuff, because I will be and setting up the time I need to go. Let's see. Okay, so the torch we don't need anymore. And if we look at the blessed gem itself, oh, that's right. I forgot. Blessing in this game doesn't do anything, but it gives you natural regen to your weapon. That's what it does. Okay. It's been a little while. I apologize, folks. I forgot, because Blessed does something unique in this game versus the others.
Ah, just what neat.
Alright. In which case... I'm kinda tempted... to go with the paired drang hampers. And make them bless so they heal. Because we have the Irithil Greatsword. I don't think I'm allowed to bless those, so... Yeah. Yeah, so these two are as close as they're gonna get. Okay, that uses regular Titanite, that uses Twinkling. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't have enough scales for that to get further improved yet. And I can't bless either of these. And the fire one is just going to come in handy. So, maybe we should pick up a different weapon. One that can be infused, that we can use for... I do love that the Bident, the Saint's Bident, can actually be enchanted further. So adding Blessing to it, so it heals you, would be nice. Yeah, why not? Blessed Gems. And reinforce. Why not?
Pretty big, I don't.
Now, the nice part is it pulls on faith. So it is less damage, and they're not fantastic. Like basic one-handed, they're pretty standard. Yeah, they can crush defense though. Yeah, the big thing with them is you get this heavy blows with it. And again, it does regen you. So it can be worth it. I'm not going to be using it for this area though. But having a good armament for certain areas is welcome. So for now, back to Farron Keep. Now, there's really three regular paths through this area. There's straight through the middle, where you follow what the fires that will draw you across. There's the left-hand road that takes you through the islands and is pretty rough overall. And then there's this right area. This will be one of the roughest roads. It's basically, the middle is easy, the left is rough, and the right hand is the worst. because you'll have to contend with far more things on this road. And you're just going to be poisoned. No, we got the Pyromancy Iron Flesh, allowing us to take less damage. But this is the roughest road, because here on the right you have to contend with not only the poison, but the curse effect of these basilisks. Bear in mind, in this area, in this game, poison is, curse has been kind of mixed with petrification. But don't panic and don't fear it. You'll get some curse buildup. But don't be afraid to Alright, dead end. But don't be afraid to take a little bit. But don't get overzealous. And you'll notice the muck here prevents us from running. I am holding the run button. The muck's too deep. And this is the only way around. Yep. And one poor bastard just fell into the muck, and that was it. The basilisk got him. Make no mistake, the same can happen to us in any moment. By the way, yep. Yep. Now here's something we haven't seen in quite a while. Yellowfinger Hazel. Last time we saw him was in the Painted World of Ariamis. He was one of the invaders, the Reds, that you could find in the Painted World. Alright. Yep. Nope. That sucked. And he's out of health. But I'm not quite. Yep. Alright. Nope. Yeah. Yep. There we go. And we got the Xanthus Crown and the Hovel Pick. Unfortunately... Oh, we did get some chugs back. Nice. And yeah, note that those refreshments are based on the number of chugs you have, so we have enough now that we actually get 2 back, which can be quite nice. In addition, we did also get Moss Fruit. Temporarily boosts all resistances. A small clump of moss fruit temporarily boosts all resistances. All moss fruit is the same regardless of its color, and has the effects of moss of all colors. So, it can be worth it. And as far as the crown goes, it has slightly better... Crown supposedly made in imitation of a divine creature of Ulasil, land of the ancient golden sorceries. Xanthus' clothing is the mark of a researcher of lost sorceries, and the oversized crown is this emblematic of their work. Such a curious pursuit is surely nothing to be ashamed of. And the item they gave us: choice weapon of Yellowfinger Hazel, a finger of Rosaria, and a Xanthus scholar. This is both a weapon and a sorcery staff. The gold specks are remnants of lost sorceries. And its skill boosts for a short moment boosts the strength of your sorceries. So, a good casting implement. Alright. Yep. Lots of basilisks here. Yeah. And poisoned once again. More repair powders. Not as necessary as later game. Not as necessary as it would be in Dark Souls 2, but it can still come in handy. And here, a golden scroll. Well, it's not a mimic. An antiquated dress and skirt. Learn the sorceries of Ulasil. A golden scroll chronicling the vast research of Xanthus scholars. Give to a sorcerer to learn the arts of Ulasil. In the lost land of Ulasil, the sorceries orchestrated light and were said to shine in golden hues. Well, we now know of somebody who will be overjoyed to have to see us. What with that kind of discovery at our fingertips. We just need to make it home. Oh, yay. These are the true defenders, ladies and gentlemen, of this place. Everything we've been seeing is just sort of the native flora and fauna. These creatures, these tall skeletons, they are the true defenders of this place. By the way, yeah, they're big and they use hexes. In a lot. With just about every attack, they summon hexes to hurt. And they hit hard. Yeah. And made it. At the last second. Yep. Like I said, the right path is the hardest way to go. But... oh, you could see one of them in the distance. But yeah. We'll see if I can get my souls back, if nothing else. But yeah, Hazel should be gone. Again, you'll see that I pointed out there's a lot of callbacks to 1. And there's a very strict reason for that. Remember the beginning of the game, the overall plot is that the fire has not been linked in such a long time that the powers that be for the time are looking to resurrect anyone who has linked the fire to do so for a second time. And, well, that brought them to this point where they resurrected Blue, the first chosen undead. But Blue never linked the fire, so he's obviously not the one they should have resurrected. In fact, they're resurrecting anyone they can as these unkindled. Alright. Don't need to go back that way. Oh, there's the tree. And there's my souls. Okay. Well, I have more chugs now. Okay, got my timing right that time. Oh, wow. Okay. I think we're just gonna leave. Yeah, with the number of trees around here, it's easy for them to get caught on something and miss you. Yep. Alright. Alright. Just keep moving. There we go. Alright. There. And the curse fog's gone. There we go. Yeah. This place kinda sucks. Or at least it ain't easy to deal with. Let's throw the homeward bone on. Because, trying to see. Because taking the right path does offer alright. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the advantage of taking this right path is it leads to, if I remember correctly, something that is a pain to reach otherwise. Yep. A bonfire. Alright, back to Firelink Shrine. Because we have plenty of new toys to look at and see if they're worthwhile. We'll start with the Ulasil sorceries.
Oh, you're back then. Again. I'm Orbeck of Vinheim. Let us begin with the basics. The ideal sorcerer bears the twin faces of the dragon. You could at least act as if you're paying attention.
So what he starts you with and what we have access to are quite nice. Even you have Soul Arrow, Great Soul Arrow, Heavy Soul Arrow, Great Heavy Soul Arrow. Basically, these are increasing amounts of firepower and require, of course, increasing amounts of intelligence. Fair and Dart. Note the cost difference between Even basic soul arrow, Farron dart is 3, so you can pop these off like nobody's business. Variation of soul arrow developed by sorcerers of the Undead Legion of Farron, fires a soul dart. Well known among the Farron sorceries, it is learned far and wide due to its ease of use of just being a quick burst of damage you can pop off. Soul Greatsword. Farron Soul Flash Sword. This requires far more intelligence. The Legion has a tendency to emphasize speed over power, and this practical alteration of an existing sorcery is no exception. Magic Weapon to imbue a weapon with magic, Magic Shield for the obvious. Spook, and Oral Decoy. That's what he has, just basic. All the useful tools that will help push you through. But it's when you give him a golden the scrolls you start to gain some real good stuff.
Oh my. Well, this is very unusual. It's from Ulasil, an ancient land of golden sorceries. Not even the Dragon School possesses such a long-lost scroll. What would the Xanthus scholars say with their ridiculous headwear?
So, we now get access to Pestilent Mist. Release a cloud of mist that eats away at HP. A bit tricky to use, but can be devastating. Highly dangerous sorcery employed by the Dragon School spooks, only taught to trusted members. Releases a dense mist that eats away at HP. Beware, as the caster is not immune to its effect. A body caught in the silent mist cloud lies still while the face twists in tortured scream. The names of these learned sorcerers became feared for this gruesome spectacle. Cast Light. Repair. Hidden Weapon. Twisted Wall of Light. Distort light in order to deflect magic. A closely guarded light manipulation spell that contorts the very fabric of the fundamental laws negating magic by denying its claim to physicality. So, yeah, we have a bunch of options.
Come again.
So, the weapon, yeah, we just don't have enough intelligence to do the Hazel pick, which, I had intended to go with the Crystal Sages, but, that might not be the worst. The spell buff's not great on it, like, make no mistake, because, like, you get some of the better stabs, and they obviously are going to do definite more output, but at the same time, the Hazel pick being allowing us to have access to magic spells might not be the worst thing. Yeah, I could see that. It's utilitarian enough I could see him using it. So then we need what? 3 points of intelligence.
Ah, how?
Let's do... Boost damage and resistances, but increases weight, so you roll slower. Well, the repair powder. And let's do... Yeah, the enchantment stuff is nice, but I typically end up enchanting stuff myself.
Ashen one.
Welcome her speak. Very well, then take.
Alright.
Let these souls withdraw from their vessels. Farewell, Ashen, may the flame.
Fortunately, that's still not enough. I need one more point before I can make use of it. But yeah. So I may give up on pyromancy, our fire dagger, ice sword, and magic pick. Yeah, no, that seems about right. At 19 intelligence.
Back again, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll be able to do Great Heavy Soul Arrow. Or, you know what? The Farron Dart.
Come again.
Being able to pop those off quickly, that might not be the worst thing. So just need one more level's worth, huh? Yeah, no. I'm gonna have to call it here, because I'm gonna have to... Unfortunately, I gotta start getting ready to go over and deal with family and friends for the day. So, I want to thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this has been more of Dark Souls 3. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time on this, or maybe something else. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.